Imagine you're walking through a grocery store. You grab your favorite snack. You buy it. You eat it. For a few minutes, it tastes amazing. Then the feeling fades. A week later, you're back buying it again. Now imagine the same thing happens with a new phone, a new car, a new game, a promotion, more followers, more money, even things you've dreamed about for years. You want them. You get them. You enjoy them. Then, somehow, they become normal. Most people think this means something is wrong. Maybe they're ungrateful. Maybe they're not trying hard enough. Maybe they just haven't found the thing that will finally make them happy. But what if the problem isn't you? What if happiness was never supposed to work that way? Because here's something strange. Humans never evolved to be happy. At least, not in the way most of us imagine. And once you understand why, a lot of modern life suddenly starts making sense. Let's travel back, way back. Before cities, before schools, before jobs, before phones, before pizza delivery. For almost all of human history, survival was difficult. Finding food took effort. Staying warm took effort. Avoiding injury took effort. Raising children took effort. A human who stopped trying often faced serious consequences. Now imagine a prehistoric human who felt permanently satisfied, always content, always relaxed, no desire for more food, no curiosity, no motivation, no reason to explore, no urge to improve their situation. That sounds peaceful, but from an evolutionary perspective, it would have been a disaster. Because evolution doesn't care about comfort. Evolution doesn't care about fulfillment. Evolution doesn't care about happiness. Evolution only rewards traits that increase survival and reproduction. That's it. It's not a planner. It's not a designer. It's not trying to create a meaningful life. Natural selection simply favors traits that help organisms pass on their genes. And that creates an interesting problem. How do you get humans to do difficult things over and over again? The answer is surprisingly clever. You make useful things feel good. Food feels good. Friendship feels good. Curiosity feels good. Achievement feels good. Love feels good. Learning feels good. Winning feels good. The feeling isn't the goal. The behavior is. The feeling is the reward. Think of happiness like a notification, not a destination. A little signal from your brain saying, "Nice, do more of that." This system worked incredibly well. In fact, it worked so well that humans eventually became one of the most successful species on Earth. We learned to farm, we built cities, we invented medicine, we created governments, we created the internet. We built machines that can deliver almost any form of entertainment directly into our pockets. And that's where things started getting weird. Because our environment changed much faster than our brains did. Your brain is modern enough to use social media, but many of its motivational systems evolved long before electricity existed, and those systems are still running today. Imagine giving a prehistoric human unlimited access to salty food, sugary food, streaming services, video games, online shopping, endless short videos. Their brain would probably react the same way ours does, because the reward system wasn't designed for abundance. It evolved in environments where rewards were harder to find. This matters because your brain doesn't measure happiness the way you think. It often pays more attention to change than to ownership. A thing feels exciting when it's new. Then it becomes familiar. Then it becomes part of the background. This phenomenon is called hedonic adaptation. It's one of the most studied ideas in psychology. The basic idea is simple. Humans tend to get used to improvements. The new phone becomes your normal phone. The dream apartment becomes your apartment. The exciting relationship becomes your relationship. The promotion becomes your job. The thing that once felt extraordinary slowly becomes ordinary. Not because you're broken, because your brain adapts. Think about your phone. Remember how exciting it felt when you first got it? You probably explored every feature, opened every menu, customized everything. Maybe you watched review videos before buying it. Then, a few months later, it's just your phone. Now imagine someone offered you a device from 10 years ago. Suddenly, your current phone feels amazing again. Nothing changed about the phone, only your comparison point changed. Your brain is constantly comparing, not constantly appreciating. And that's important, because comparison is useful for survival. If your ancestors completely stopped noticing opportunities for improvement, they might stop seeking resources, safety, or social connections. Adaptation kept people moving. The downside is that adaptation also makes permanent satisfaction difficult. This is where many people accidentally trap themselves. They start chasing happiness like it's a finish line. They think, I'll be happy when I graduate. Then, I'll be happy when I get a job. Then, I'll be happy when I make more money. Then, I'll be happy when I buy a house. Then, I'll be happy when I achieve the next thing. The target keeps moving, not because they're failing, because that's what the motivational system naturally does. It keeps generating new goals. The moment one challenge is solved, another appears. Think about video games. The fun often isn't reaching the final level. The fun is progressing, unlocking, exploring, learning, improving. Once everything is unlocked, many players eventually lose interest. The reward isn't only in having, it's in pursuing. Humans work similarly. Now, before this starts sounding depressing, here's the important twist. The fact that happiness wasn't designed to be permanent doesn't mean happiness is fake. Far from it. Happiness is very real. Joy is real. Love is real. Excitement is real. Gratitude is real. The mistake is expecting those feelings to stay at maximum intensity forever. Nothing in nature works like that. Your heart doesn't stay at maximum speed. Your muscles don't stay fully contracted. Your attention doesn't stay locked on one thing forever. Human emotions move. They rise. They fall. They change. That's normal. The problem often begins when we expect them not to. Research in psychology suggests that people often overestimate how happy future achievements will make them. Scientists sometimes call this an effective forecasting error. In simple English, we're not very good at predicting our future emotional state. We imagine getting something. Then we imagine feeling amazing forever. Reality is usually more complicated. The achievement matters. The happiness is real. But adaptation eventually shows up, and life continues. This doesn't mean goals are pointless. Goals matter. Achievement matters. Growth matters. But expecting any single achievement to permanently solve the human condition is asking it to do something it was never designed to do. So, if happiness isn't a destination, what is it? A useful way to think about it is this: happiness is feedback, not a final reward. It's information, a signal, a momentary experience, part of a larger system that helps guide behavior. And once you stop expecting permanent happiness, something interesting happens. You start noticing smaller sources of enjoyment: a conversation, a workout, a good meal, a walk outside, finishing a project, learning a new skill, helping someone. These moments don't feel important because they're permanent. They feel important because they're real. Modern culture often sells a different story. It tells us happiness is one purchase away, one upgrade away, one subscription away, one life hack away, one productivity system away, one perfect morning routine away. But if happiness is actually part of an ongoing process, then constantly chasing the next thing may not solve the problem. Sometimes it simply creates a newer version of the same chase. And maybe that's the biggest misunderstanding. People often think happiness is what happens when the journey ends, but evolution never built us for an ending. It built us for movement, for exploration, for learning, for adapting, for solving problems, for creating new ones, for continuing, which means happiness may not be a place you arrive. It may be something you experience along the way, briefly, repeatedly, unexpectedly, and that's okay, because perhaps the goal was never to stay happy forever. Perhaps the goal was to keep living, keep growing, keep exploring, and occasionally receive those wonderful little rewards that remind us we're moving in the right direction. Humans never evolved to be happy, But in the process of trying to survive, adapt, and build a better future, we accidentally became capable of something remarkable, experiencing happiness at all. So maybe the goal was never to become permanently happy. Maybe that's the wrong target entirely. Imagine if every meal made you happy forever, or every achievement, or every friendship, or every sunset. Eventually, nothing would matter. The reason those moments feel special is because they come and go. Happiness was never designed to be a place where humans live. It was designed to be a signal, a brief message from your brain saying, that was good, that helped, that mattered, and then it fades. Not because something is wrong, but because life keeps moving. The strange thing is that once you understand this, you stop chasing happiness quite so desperately. You stop expecting every new purchase, every new goal, every new milestone to finally complete the puzzle. Instead, you start noticing smaller things, a conversation, a walk, learning something new, helping someone, laughing at something stupid, watching the sun disappear behind the horizon. The moments were always there. You were just looking somewhere else. Humans never evolved to be happy all the time, but somewhere along the way, while trying to survive, while building cities, inventing phones, exploring the world, and searching for meaning, we became capable of experiencing happiness at all. And honestly, that's pretty remarkable. Thank you for traveling with me today. If you enjoyed this journey, there are plenty more strange ideas waiting to be explored. And if you'd like to join the next adventure, subscribe and come along. Until next time, keep exploring the strange world inside your head. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel as we bring new journeys with Tiny Traveler every week. Until next time, stay curious, my friend.